And just in terms of proliferation, if the major nuclear powers could agree to a total stop of any nuclear explosions, that would, in my opinion, be the most powerful inhibition against anybody else getting into the nuclear weapons business. So that it's an entirely rational agenda. All we have is the question as to whether we have the political will to go ahead with it.
And does this U.S. administration genuinely want to negotiate?
I'm sure that there are some in the present administration that would genuinely like to see serious and effective arms control negotiations. There are, regrettably, others that think that it's a waste of time and that the only thing we can do with the Soviets is to outcompete them. And what they favor is what I've referred to as the arms race theory of arms control. That what we do is just go ahead as fast as we can with as much as we can in the expectation that they won't be able to keep up and that we'll get arms control by default. Well, I don't know of anybody who has been a serious student of the Soviet Union or of Russian history who believes that that would take place. They would do whatever is necessary in order to match us, so that the race for strategic superiority is a recipe for disaster. We'll be bankrupt if we aren't obliterated. How many doctors are going to survive? How many urban hospital facilities are going to survive? What do you do with all the bodies? What are the epidemic consequences? What are the fallout consequences? The idea that you can fight, survive, and win a nuclear war is calamitous nonsense.
This arms race has gone on for a long time, and I think we need to slow it, stop it, and reverse it. And I think the time for that is right now.
People are beginning to ask questions about secrecy, about security, and beginning to feel that if we are a democracy, then we the people ought to be able to say what sort of defense policy we want.
When we set out to make this film almost 2 years ago, opponents of the nuclear arms race were still being dismissed as outside the popular consensus, as extreme or naive or even pro-Soviet. Today, opinion polls show that a clear majority of the people of Britain are against cruise missiles on our soil. These are to be deployed throughout Western Europe this year, and we may have no control over them, and they may well undermine our last chance of avoiding a new and final stage in the nuclear arms race. But are governments listening to the common sense of their own people, or are they merely concerned with spreading new propaganda, as if wanting peace now is somehow unpatriotic?